been reporting extensively on the increase in gun-related violence in Richmond and the surrounding communities. The numbers are alarming, but the mayor says he has a plan underway to fix the problem.
In April, Mayor Levar Stoney's administration presented the city's gun violence prevention and intervention framework. The mayor says the framework was created with the help of experts in the health, education, and nonprofit community. It uses a combination of policing, intervention, and community prevention strategies to combat the problem. And he says it focuses on high crime areas, youth in the community, the root causes of crime, while using a holistic approach to addressing gun violence. Now, for this special RRVA, I sat down with the mayor to learn more about his plan and how he will measure its success in Richmond. Mayor, in 2021, you declared gun violence a public health crisis. How have things been since you made that declaration?
Well, you know, gun violence has been an epidemic here in the city, but also nationwide for some years now. And ever since we declared a health emergency here in the city of Richmond, we've kind of thrown the kitchen sink at the problem. What we recognize is that 26% of the violent crimes that are happening in the city of Richmond are occurring in 2% of the 60 square miles of the city of Richmond. And so in a time in which we are seeing there are less police officers doing the job because of the shortages and whatnot, we need to work smarter about this situation. So we're directing our resources. And here's the thing, all we're doing is putting community policing and data overlaying on top of it, and then overlaying that with our prevention and intervention framework as well. And so it's been successful. We've removed hundreds of weapons from the street that could have been used in gun violence and could have taken someone's life.
Let's talk about your framework. How did you come up with this? You put a team together.
That's right. We had a task force to focus on gun violence in the city. We actually assembled people from all walks of life involved in, whether it's the police department, those who worked with police department, those who worked in nonprofits, focused on a human services approach to gun violence. We needed something that was unique to Richmond and Richmonders, and that's exactly what our gun violence prevention and intervention framework is.
What are the factors that you're watching to make sure that it's successful?
Well, obviously we want to reduce the homicide rate here in the city. We want to reduce those aggravated assaults, people using a weapon during assaults, and we're already seeing that already this year here in 2022, a 19% reduction in homicides in the city of Richmond compared to where we are today compared to last year. Now, we want to end gun violence, period. We want to also measure ourselves on the successes we have, right? So if an individual uses one of our programs to rise out of poverty and get a good job, or a second chance is given to someone, they could have been steered towards violence, and instead they've moved into something that allows them to contribute to our community. Those are the sort of success stories we want to see out of our city. It's going to take trust and time to make this happen, right? To reduce violence in our community.
Let's talk about what happened on July 4th. It's a fair question to ask when we are talking about trust. When the police chief said that a hero tipster stepped up and stopped what he said could have been a tragic situation, possible mass shooting, and he said the target was Dogwood Dell. But after that press conference, that news conference, there were lots of questions. There were questions about, was Dogwood Dell the actual target? There were police officers who were there who weren't aware of a possible threat, and then there were questions from the community. And if we're building trust, aren't those questions that need to be answered?
Yeah, obviously trust is a major component to strengthening the relationship between the police department, the city, and its people. However, sometimes we are unable to answer your questions, particularly if the investigation's ongoing. Sometimes you have to do a thorough investigation to get more answers to some of the questions. Like I said earlier, and I will continue to say, I support and I'm thankful and grateful for the great police work by the Richmond Police Department to remove that threat that could have harmed many people on the 4th of July. The person who called in, I thank them as well. They didn't have to do that.
All right, is there anything else you want the community to know about your framework?
We have to throw the whole kitchen sink, and I mean by the whole kitchen sink, I mean everything. We mean more investment in public education, more investment in parks and recreation, more job opportunities, more economic development. All of these things play a role in a person choosing a better life for not just themselves, but their families as well. But we need to give them those choices. Now, will it happen overnight? I can never tell you it's going to happen overnight. But I can tell you we're going to work our damnedest and throw in this kitchen sink at this issue to make sure it's one less life lost during this whole epidemic that we're experiencing.
And it is important to note that homicides are down by 19% in Richmond, but reports show the number of victims shot is up by 12%.